I wanted to talk about our next gene key that we're moving into. To June 1st, we will be activating gene key 16. That's what's in the transit. That's what the sun is illuminating and lighting up. And so remember, with each gene key transit, it's all about shifting into the higher frequencies. And often that means you're going to have to clear or work through something in the lower, the denser frequencies in order to do that. And or so will the collective and people around you, because these are just collective frequencies. Okay, so we're going to be overcoming and moving through the shadow of indifference into the city and the higher realms of full mastery. And we'll be doing this by way of versatility. Now, think about what versatility really is. Versatility is all about allowing yourself to be used as the vessel in the moment. So this gene key is an awesome one because it's all about activating something within you and channeling. And if you've heard me talk about this in the past, you know that when you're fully letting yourself be the vessel, that's when you can write wonderful things. That is when you can do things that you didn't know how to do before. That's when something sort of activates in you. It's almost like, hey, if someone else in the world has this ability, you could almost tap into it and have it for yourself, even for that split second moment. So I love this gene key. It's a big one for channelers, and it's all about being versatile. So not limiting ourselves to what we think our skills are or what we think our abilities are. It's all about saying, okay, well, what if I could do that? And letting ourselves be more versatile by accepting that our soul and the channel is always there, that we're just the vessel for higher consciousness to flow through, to be used in the moment. So you can start by saying, okay, hey, higher consciousness, higher self, how do you want to use my vessel today? Show me what you got. What do you got for me? Let's go for it. This really invites us to stretch into a new area as well. So watch for areas where you might feel a little bit inspired, extra enthusiasm, ignited towards something new. So just stay aware for when your invitation arrives. You're going to be getting invitations or ideas, things like that from the universe, from people around you during this time period that are inviting you into something new, something to show you your versatility. You know how when you have a skill that you've worked on for a really, really long time, or let's say you get a certain major in school, you start to realize oh, I can actually use this in a couple of different fields or professions. I don't have to only get one type of job. That's what this gene key will highlight during this time period. So it's really a good time period to kind of break out of old patterns in areas where you were maybe a little bit lazy, indifferent, feeling helpless, might come up during this time period as well. And just remember, what if I can allow myself to be the vessel to create something new? Where's my divine spark? Just really look into hey, soul, what are you calling for me to explore or to expand into during this lifetime? This is truly the time period where you can make some really cool changes or discover new things about yourself through versatility. And this is also a time period where once you develop a skill and you realize you can use it in a bunch of different ways throughout your life, whether it's different industries, in your everyday life, in your relationships, etc., that's when you are really truly attaining mastery. But according to the gene keys, the second you attain mastery is the second that you're kind of enlightened, and you actually don't have to master anything at all because you're just perfectly in presence and in peace. Now, the other thing about versatility and mastery is that this energy is really self-sustaining. So it's a really, really cool gene key. I mean, versatility is literally all about sustainability, because when you have this in your gene keys, when you have this ability to be like the Swiss Army knife. So for example, using your intuition in a whole bunch of situations rather just one or the other. That's when you actually, have a self-sustaining energy, right? Because you're much more efficient. And I've always said this about channeling, for example, you don't have to try to figure things out all the time. You don't have to always learn all these new things. You can have the deliciousness of that process, but often you can just channel things. And if you can just channel them and use your intuition, you're going to be more efficient energetically. Things don't take as long. There's less resistance. Things happen a lot faster, and they're a lot more seamless. So it's a pretty cool gene key to activate. Opportunities to overcome that indifference or that feeling of what am I here for? I can't do it. What's the point? That type of stuff. And really look for opportunities to see the gifts that you have within you and what is also calling you forward to engage in your gifts, your talents, the things that you didn't know that you know, right in front of you in new ways, because that will definitely be showing up throughout many different opportunities during this gene key till June 1st. So it should be an interesting and cool activation. I love this one. It's always, like I said, it's a great one for channeling projects. Like I super got into crochet this last weekend, and I just taught myself how to make granny squares. And I got my embroidery kit out. Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to master this. I got our sewing machine back out. Yeah. So it's just feeling like one of those time periods where it's like, okay, what's ready? What's ready to emerge? What's ready to be learned? What's ready to be known? And some of my channeling times have been really, really profound as well. Like, and I've seen people have really cool things emerge through them as well when they started to open that channel. It's not just creativity. It's almost like this ingenuity. There are even people who talked about like where they didn't have to study for tests and stuff like that, but then they would know the answer and understand the material on the spot because they just channeled it. When I channel, I write like entire things full of content and speak entire things that I didn't know that I knew before. But other people are kind of like coming through and teaching with me. So in essence, like the 16th gift of versatility is all about remembering that we're all one consciousness in the end. And so if I'm just a vessel for consciousness to come through, then I can channel truly anything through this vessel that's needed. We just have to learn how to like call upon it or let it emerge through us. So pretty cool. More of these types of things in the Patreon group, and I hope that you guys will come and watch that in there and enjoy all of these updates in there. I do have the channeling courses open. They are both starting in late June, but I hope you'll come and check out our classes that are coming up as well. They're listed in the show notes, like I mentioned, and on my website. You're welcome to sign up separately or join the Patreon to take the classes as well. And then the courses, you do have to sign up separately through the website, but you're welcome to come and join us. The Art of Channeling course is an intermediate course, and it's going to focus on lucid and clear conduit channeling. It's where you kind of like let spirit speak through you rather than to you. So mastering, that ability to channel through entering altered states of consciousness, letting your mind move aside a little bit, which unironically is what the 16th gene key allows us to do when we slip into true versatility. It's like our mind gets out of the way and we just let life or whatever needs to be done through us. So perfect timing for that. And then we will also have the art of auto writing starting at the end of June, and that course is more focused on channeling through auto writing. So again, a seamlessness, something that invites itself through you to bring words of comfort, wisdom, support, etc. And both of these courses will teach you to channel whoever needs to come through and speak through you, even your own higher self, even the higher collective consciousness, whether it's a loved one, a guide, an angel, a teacher, or someone that you really admire who's passed away in the beyond. You can channel truly anyone as long as they're willing to also come through. And so we will teach you how to do that much more seamlessly, either through speaking in the Art of Channeling course or in auto writing.